All right, time for episode 8 of Crash Course, where I take a look at some of your crashes. You've sent in via the uploader, link down below for that, and I try and help you out. So if you're watching this, maybe this isn't you that's crashed, but I can give you some advice on why these crashes are happening. Hopefully try and avoid some of these. This first one comes from Dijwa, who's riding in Fallon in Sweden. Trying my wings and yeah, didn't end well. Broken collarbone and cracked 3 ribs. Ooh, painful. Hope you get well soon. This is a big crash. If you check this out, basically it's an over jump. If you look closely, over jump of the first one, and then you hit the second jump super compressed on the bike, almost like a seat bounce, and all the weight gets thrown forward over the bars. So I would say, yeah, definitely, you know, as and when you're heeled up, go a bit slower at this first jump so you don't land too deep, and then because basically you don't get time to react, get set back up for the second jump and go again. So slow it down, and even if you have to pop a bit to clear the jump, you're then going to have time to set up for the next one. Also, if you rewind a little bit, look at if you pause it right as you land that first jump, you can see all the weight is really central to the bike. You can see your feet are really flat. And I know I talk about feet quite a lot, but it does show you where the weight is on the bike. And if your feet are flat or even toe down, then that's weight going towards the bars. And then you hit that next takeoff, weight is just going to get sent forward. So yeah, slow it down, try and land a bit more heel down, a bit more central behind the bike, and you'll have time to set up and get that second jump good. Right, next video comes from Rodrigo riding his Rocky Mountain Slayer 2019. This is Cerro San Cristobal in Santiago. Myself and Blake rode there, was that last year? It must have been last year, before the Andes Pacifico. So I know this place, it's right in the middle of Santiago, amazing riding spot. It is super dry, especially in summertime. You can see how dusty this place is. It's almost like sand, and there's some jumps and stuff there. You can see what happens. So this is Rodrigo. Basically, his front wheel goes into the gap of this takeoff. You see it's like a North Shore wooden takeoff. Bit sketchy, and you see the front wheel goes in and gets stuck. Nasty crash, this one. With jumps like this, you just gotta be really careful. If you've got like ghetto takeoff, you wanna go probably a bit more to the right-hand side so your front wheel can't go into that gap. That's the only thing you could have done here, really, just avoid that hole. But nasty crash, Rodrigo. Yeah. Hopefully it goes better next time. Check this one out. This is sent in from Luke of his friend Ty in St. Helens Mountain Bike Trails. This is a big old send. Ty sends it, tries to jump the whole of this whoop section, so I've got to respect that send. It is massive, but you can see it's a big old crash as well. Basically, Ty, you're unlucky there because, well, it's really hard to judge in the first place because there's so many mounds going on, and you know, you want to ride in as fast as you can and kind of stop and have a look, and then it's down to just a guess. Are you going to clear it? Are you not? And unfortunately, you don't clear it, but the big thing that catches right here is your front wheel clears one of those whoops and lands behind it, and that just throws the weight forward. You can see the friend afterwards who doesn't jump quite as far. It's probably a worse case, but actually, because the front wheel doesn't miss one of those mounds, his weight doesn't get sent forward, so he rides out. So Ty, you're just unlucky that your front wheel clears, but your back wheel doesn't. I guess you know the problem here. You know, if you're going to try and jump the lot, you need to just be going a little bit faster. It looks like you pull up pretty good, so that's about as much pop as you're going to get, I think. You just need a bit more speed, but full respect for trying to do it, and it's a big old crash. Right, next one comes from Enzo, riding his Orange Crush Comp 2019 in Wareham in Dorset. I went to my local pump track with my mates and wanted to practice doing my manuals. I was getting good at it, as you can see, but I went too fast and forgot to put my finger on the brake and looped out and winded myself bad. I'm fine though. Well, we all know the feeling of getting winded. It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah, you've got the manual nailed. The thing is with manuals is you've just got to learn how to cover the back brake, because it's just the safety net, because eventually, you know, when you get good at it, you will get to the balance point and past, and the only thing that's going to save you is that back brake. Yes, you can learn to jump off, which is easier said than done if you're riding clipped in. With flats, not so bad. You can jump off the back of the bike. But really, if you're getting the front wheel that high, you've got to take the time to learn how to use a back brake. And it might feel like you're sort of almost slowing yourself down, you're not progressing quite as fast, but you just got to get used to slamming on the back brake. So get the front wheel up to the balance point, slam on the back brake, and get a feel for how good your back brake is and when and where you need to pull that back brake. And it will save you. And as soon as you've got this nailed, your manuals will just become exponentially better because you can really trust in that back brake. One thing I would say, if you're not feeling comfortable covering it, then it's probably because it's not in the right place. So have a look at your setup. Make sure that your sort of lever angle and where your lever is in and out on the bar, so inward or outboard of the bar, is super comfortable. So your finger can stay on that back brake the whole time you're riding. If you're feeling like you're having to stretch for it or it's not comfortable, and therefore you're not tempted to cover it all the time, then it's not in the right spot, so just move it. Okay, that's it for this episode of Crash Course. Hopefully I've helped you out there. As ever, keep sending your fails and bails in via the uploader. We show them in Dirt Shed, show them on our Instagram as well, and we celebrate your sends when you get them good, so keep sending them in. Thanks very much. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. And if you're new to GMBN, because I know there's lots of people out there who've just discovered us, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notifications button as well. See ya.